What's up, guys? JV2017 here, and they have officially put Infected, one of my favorite game types, into the community public playlist. That means you can go online right now and play Infected in a public match, and all of the XP will count. This is really strange. First off, let me say that, but I'm just going to go over some of the new stuff in Infected and, basically how you'll play it and all of that cool stuff. So, first off, I'm going to read directly off of a community website link that I have for Call of Duty, of course, for Modern Warfare 3, and this is from 402, and it shows you exactly what, this new Infected playlist will consist of. So, this game mode is available to all players when you join a match of Infected. 10 seconds after the match begins, you will be chosen either to be Infected or on the team of survivors. So basically, after 10 seconds, an initial Infected is chosen. And the initial Infected is different across I think it's 5 different types of games of Infected. This is really complicated, so I'm sorry if this is confusing, but I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. So, anyways, the objective of Infected is to, first off, just stay alive. If you're a survivor, you just gotta stay alive. A lot of you guys know this. If you're Infected, you want to infect everybody else, of course. That is the objective. So you will receive 100 points per kill whether you're a survivor or Infected, but survivors receive an additional 100 points each time an Infected kills another survivor. So if you last until the finals, if you're the final survivor, you're basically, good to go. And also, what I'm showing you right here is my first game, and I'll get to why I'm a Juggernaut and why I have Magnums in just a second. So, yeah, so that's the objective, but anyways, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of Juggernaut games that you'll get into. So you'll notice it was on Dome, and it said Juggernaut versus Striker, I believe is what it said. So this is what they've done. So you guys know in Infected, in private matches, you can just change up anything you want. You can get any guns that you want to, any perks, all of that, because it's a private match. But obviously in a public Infected lobby, there's certain loadouts that you're given depending on whatever you vote on. So first off is Knife versus Striker. This will appear most often, and it will be playable on 14 maps. I don't know why it's just 14 maps. None of the DLC is listed here. So first off, the Infected loadout is of course a knife only, but the trick is you get a throwing knife. So that means all of the spots that I've showed you guys that are glitch spots that are just up there, those are obsolete because people can just throwing knife you. Now it's more of a game of hiding, especially with this Knife versus Striker, which will appear most often. It says that these appear most often or least often or rarely, but what I've seen so far is that all of these game modes, all the different types of Infected have appeared, equally. So you'll see all of these types, pretty often. But anyways, the Infected get extreme conditioning, quick draw, and juiced. Another thing, juiced. So if you die 4 times in a row, you get juiced. So they'll be running around like crazy hellions. But anyways, the survivors will get a Striker, extended mags, and damage, and 5.7 akimbos with Claymore smoke. So there you go. And also, for all of these, the initial Infected is going to be the same as the survivors. So, that's not very complicated and all that stuff. But except for the initial Infected actually has hollow points for a death streak. So that just makes it a little easier on them. And there you go. So next is the Knife versus Magnum. Now, this is not the one I'm playing, I don't think. I'm playing Juggernaut versus Magnum. No, I'm playing Juggernaut versus Striker. So, Knife versus Magnum will be playable on 9 maps. The Infected will have the same thing. Actually, not the same thing. They'll have just a knife only like always. But in this game mode, they will not have a throwing knife. So that means whenever you see Knife versus 44 Magnum, you will be able to go up somewhere in camp. Now, I don't know if this list is incomplete and it should say throwing knife. I haven't been able to test all 4 of these. But, of course, this is my first game of Infected that you're watching right now on a public community playlist. So anyways, and basically the same thing for the Infected. Now for the survivors, they get 44 Magnums akimbo and C4 and concussion grenades. That's all they get. So they're not Juggernauts or anything like that. They just get 44 Magnums. And same thing with the initial infected. They get hollow points, so they can get that easier. So here's Juggernaut versus MK46. This will only be on the map Dome. And the infected will be Juggernauts. And they'll only have a knife and attack insertion. No throwing knife. And so the survivors in this game mode will have an MK46 light machine gun with the kick proficiency and an RPG. So they give, survivors a lot of stuff to survive with, against Juggernauts, obviously. And the initial infected is the same thing, except once again, hollow points. Now here's the last type. This says it appears rarely, but I just got it my first freaking game I played it. So it's called Striker versus Juggernaut. And this is only on Dome, but the health regeneration is set to slow. So you really got to watch out. You'll see in this gameplay, I don't know if you've noticed, I really had to hide sometimes, to keep myself alive. But anyways, the infected get an XM25, a striker with range and extended mags. So that's kind of interesting. Of course, the XM25 is for the Juggernauts. And the survivors are Juggernauts. So instead of the infected being Juggernauts, survivors are Juggernauts. It's kind of strange. And all they get, as you could tell in this game mode, or from this gameplay, is a 44 Magnum. Kimbo. So, and Scavenger, of course. But the initial infected is the same thing as the survivors, except they get hollow points. So anyways, guys, that was a lot of freaking information to tell you, but I think it's really important that everybody knows, how the game modes work. And there's only one game mode, I guess game type. I don't know what you can call it, because infected is a game mode playlist in itself, but each different type of game is different. So the only one that you can go up and camp in those spots that I showed you in the videos, I also showed you hiding spots, so those videos aren't useless. Someone told me that they were useless. I'm like, no. But anytime you see knife versus 44 Magnum, that is what I'm assuming is the playlist the game mode. God, I'm sorry, probably confusing a lot of you. That you can camp in. So knife versus 44 Magnum, you can probably camp in that, and not have to worry about getting throwing knifed. But all the other ones, you need to worry about getting throwing knifed, because you gotta hide basically, or just hold off. But anyways, guys, I hope this was really helpful for you, and I like it. I like this idea, but I won't like it when I'm the initial infected, because that just will kill your KD. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to click that like button. It would really help me out, and I will talk to you later. Peace!